You have three options for survival. Okay.
Okay.
The first one is, let's say, okay, the first one is a tropical island. Like, let's say the island's maybe like 50 square acres, and there's no other, there's really like you're probably in the middle of the Pacific. There's no way you're gonna like find like another island or shit like that. You're basically like stuck on the island, and like if you can like make your canoe like go around the island, shit like that. Tropical island, um, and all you start with is a fishing pole. So your tropical island, you get a fishing pole, like fully
Okay.
lured up. Okay,
Okay.
all right. Next one, uh, I want to say like Alaskan wilderness. You get a fire starter, you get a machete, and you also, let's say, get like a small baggie of like clothing to wear because it's gonna be cold. You get a
Okay.
fire starter, machete, bagging of clothes, and then let's say last one, Amazonian jungle. Um, Amazonian jungle, and you get Amazonian jungle. All that you start with is you get a bow and arrow. You have three arrows,
Hmm.
and basically when you fire one of those off, you got to make sure that you can either trace it back or you got to kill with it. So those are the three options there.
All right.
Which
So I mean, like,
and you're supposed to choose in terms of like which one you feel like you have the best chance at.
yeah. I mean, Amazon, I'm taking out 100%. Amazon sounds like the
Okay.
worst one. Honestly, I feel like the tropical island stands out a lot as the way to go because you got a fishing pole, you can get food.
Yeah, but you have to consider the fact that like you break the line breaks, you lose your lure, something happens, you might have to repair it, or it might not
Hmm.
work forever. Um, and also you don't have a fire starter. You don't have a fire starter, and I know like it seems like it might not be that hard to start fire without a fire starter, but I feel like neither of us would know how to do that. Not gonna lie.
But it's also tropical, so you don't need fire.
No, you do. I mean, like, dude, you catch fish, you catch food. Let's say you catch
True,
like a
true,
rodent, you
true,
got to
true.
cook it
Yeah,
up.
you gotta cook.
You
I mean,
definitely need
fish, you
fire.
could probably eat that raw.
Yeah, I mean, well, maybe
Be
fish,
fine.
maybe fish. I mean, I would say like tropical fish. There's probably not a lot of tropical fish that you should be eating raw. Like
Mm.
darker, like tuna and salmon. Like those are fine to eat. But in terms of like, I don't think you can just eat any fish raw.
I have no
Um,
idea. So I guess I'd probably. I mean, let's be real. I'm probably screwed in every single one of these. Let's start with
yeah,
that. 'Cause,
yeah.
yeah, I'd be like so confident. Yeah, yo, give me the fishing pole. I'm gonna go eat lots of fish and survive. And then if I
1 week
finally
later, you're
catch
fucking
something, like
dried
the
up on the
first
shore.
thing is like, oh, can I can I eat this or is this gonna fucking kill me?
Yeah,
Especially considering I've literally pretty much never fished in my life. So,
right. That too. Yeah.
how about you?
Um,
Are you going with the tropical pole?
it's. I mean, yeah. For me, it's probably either that or Canada. Like my only worry. I mean, sorry, or Alaska. My only worry with Alaska is like, yes, I have a machete, and yes, I have fire and stuff like that. I feel like like hunting in Alaska would be more difficult than it would be the most difficult of the three trying to obtain protein. You don't have a fishing pole. I realize that there's like salmon everywhere and shit, but you don't have a fishing pole, so
I mean,
it's
you
like
don't have a boat.
you have a machete, which honestly, like, no, okay, okay.
You're
This
gonna
this okay. This so this should
fucking
have been a
drop
switch.
down on a moose.
No, no, this should have been a switch. It should be you have the bow and arrow in Canada. You have the machete in the Amazon.
Hmm.
That makes way more sense.
Interesting. Having a bow and arrow in Alaska is tempting, but I still think that the added challenge of the cold would make me. I'd rather be like in a comfortable climate, and I'll take my chances fishing. Something about the Amazon that might surprise you is that like it's not like teeming with life the way you think of it. Like it's
Yeah,
not like there's just animals and fish and birds and like everything constantly all over the place that you
yeah.
could like pretty easily hunt.
I feel like I've heard Paul Rosalie talk about that a little bit. Also, how like I think people over exaggerate like how dangerous the Amazon is. Like I know it's definitely dangerous, but I think he said a lot of times like the most dangerous thing in the Amazon are humans. Like the
I'm
last
sure that's
thing that you
true.
want to run into in the Amazon is a human. And then like next to that there are like the caimans or whatever.
Mhm.
Obviously pythons that like, you just got to keep your distance from, and also like the jaguars or whatever. But even then, like I'm pretty sure like they don't fuck with humans. Like you're never really going to have like a jaguar like fuck a
Y-
human up unless like
Yeah, I
on a
mean,
rare occasion maybe, I don't know.
I think that like the least of your concern is big dangerous animals that are going to like take you down and eat you. I'd be more worried about eating something poisonous or, every type of bug that could possibly poison you or kill you or ruin your day. Different, like, I don't know. I feel like there's more subtle things that will kill you.
Yeah.
And also, it's incredibly uncomfortable. Like, you're wet. All, like you're
Right,
sweating
right.
all the
That too.
time. Like,
Yeah.
and if this is like a survival situation where you're just dropped in there with a machete and what is that it?
Machete and a fire starter. You have fire.
I believe. I mean, starting a
Oh wait,
fire
wait, sorry. In the
in the
Amazon,
Amazon is
wait,
really
sorry.
hard.
In the Amazon, fire starter was not initially part of it, but like maybe we can make it part of it just to
I
make it
think
a
it would
little
be a
easier.
waste.
A fire starter?
I think it'd
Why?
be
Because it's just so difficult to start a fire in the
I
Amazon.
think it'd be super damp. It's really hard to start a fire. I don't know if it'd be a waste, but it
I
wouldn't
mean,
be like the savior that it would be maybe in Alaska, where it's like, okay, I got a fire starter, I can always have a fire. I think you'd
oh
run
yeah,
into a lot of troubles
maybe. At
trying
the
to
end of the
get a
day, I feel
fire
like in
going.
any survival situation, you need to figure out how to get fire going, at least like temporarily.
Yeah,
Even if
I,
it's hot, even if it's like really hot out. Water, you need to be able to boil water, disinfectant.
true,
Like that
true,
is
true, true.
over everything.
This is
Um,
true. Um, I think I'm probably still going with the tropical one. All right, wait. Here's another one for you. Ready? Let me think this one through. So one option is let's say this. You are deep, deep, deep in like northern Canada, nowhere near civilization. It's cold, it's winter, but you have, let's say, like you have a bow with I don't know, a dozen arrows. You got a decent amount of arrows. You have a fire starter. You have a machete. You have a tent. You have a sleeping bag, and you have warm clothes. I'll even throw in like you get I don't know, let's say um like I don't know, like some rope and like some tools and
Wait, did you mention machete for this one, or like not a
yeah,
machete, maybe
basically what I'm going
some
for
like
is like
axe? You have
you're
like all like the basic survival stuff.
exactly like
Okay.
basically what I'm going for is like you're pretty well equipped. Not anything crazy. You're not living luxuriously. You're still gonna have to find food.
Right,
Um,
right, right.
like you don't have any food. You don't have anything stored up or anything like that. But
Yeah.
you have some tools to work with and a little bit of shelter, a little bit of warmth.
Okay.
Or let's say, um, all right, let's say you have how do I put this out? Um, let's all right. So you're in a not super specific. You're in a really nice climate. You're not worried about that it's too hot. You're not worried that it's too cold. It's like nice temperature. That's not going to be an issue at all. You have, let's say, like a large amount of food to survive. You know what? All right, let's say this. However much time you have to survive, maybe it's 6 months you're out here. In this second case, you have a backpack full of all the food you need to last you that entire time. You have food. Um,
Okay.
you don't have any sort of like let's say you have a small pocket knife. Um, you have we'll give you like a tent. You all right? You got like a backpacking pack. It's got a tent, sleeping bag, a bunch of food.
Okay.
All right, something like this. All right, like
Sure.
you get the idea.
This sounds
But
nice.
but there is a person that is in the same vicinity as you,
Okay.
who is
Trying to
like,
kill me or something?
let's say like, all right, like nothing crazy. They're not like some like fucking Navy SEAL type of thing, but they are an experienced hunter, and they have a bow and arrow,
Okay.
and their job the entire time is to also survive, but to find you and kill you.
Oh god. And wait, what is the geographical, like, location of this place? Because I don't think you said it.
It's just like,
'Cause that depends as well. Like,
okay, let's say you're in like a let's say you're in the Adirondack Mountains in New York in the early fall.
okay.
It's like September. Just like
And
super nice. You're not too hot. You're not too cold.
I have all the food, I have a
Elements aren't gonna fuck
tent.
you.
Do I have any
You have no
any
defenses
no defenses?
except one
Okay.
small knife that's more to be used as like a tool. But I
And
guess
he this person is somewhere in my region, but, like, how, you know, like, how close, like, where is he? Like, how
um
close is he? How big is, like, the expanse that I have? Like, I don't know. I don't
let's see this. All right, so you all right, so you're dropped in. You have, I don't know, let's say like a 50-mile radius that is completely remote. I don't know if that exists in the Adirondacks, but let's just say that it does. It's completely remote, and you are released into it, and the other person, like from the same point that you were released into it, he gets dropped in a week later. So basically, you get to go in a week early.
and it's still 6 months total?
Yeah, 6 months from when he comes in. So basically, like you get a week to like get in there and get yourself situated.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I just feel like in this scenario, like, if he finds me, I'm toast. Like, I think there's nothing what can I do? He has a bow and
Run,
arrow.
you
It's
run.
basically just, like, luck in terms of, like, if I can find a spot that's hidden. Well, okay, okay. And you said this is in Canada? Like, way
Uh, n-
northern, oh, no.
no, Adirondacks.
Oh, Adirondacks. I
The
mean, I
only
think
thing
it
I'm
comes
really
down
going
to
for,
if I can find myself a spot where it is extremely secluded and I feel like there's no way he's gonna find this, then, then that's it. But if this guy is, like, an experienced hunter,
he's a good hunter. He's not like the world's top tracker or like some crazy
he's not
stuff.
like Navy SEAL.
Yeah, he's a good hunter. Like he knows how to track. He knows how
Oh,
to
he's a
look
good
for
hunter.
signs. He's just like yeah, he's just your average good little hunter.
Okay. Um, yeah. It's either that or Northern Canada. You're giving me the other option as well, right? Like the
Yes.
Northern Canada where you get all the basic starting goods,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
and but there's no, like, limit. It's kind of just like you got to survive.
Yeah, let's say 6 months also.
Okay.
But you have no food, no water, nothing to sustain you. Only some tools to help you find that stuff.
I think I would go with the first one, honestly. Do I have a pot to boil water in?
Um.
I would, because I mean, as silly as that sounds, I feel like that would make a difference for me. Um,
Sure. 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 You got a pot.
yeah. So
One single pot. That's your only
yeah,
utensil. A pot and a knife.
pot and a knife, and I also have, like, the bow and arrow and shit like that, and the tent and the clothes and all the basic starter shit. Um,
Mhm.
do I have a fishing pole? How about
Um.
this?
Hmm.
Give me line. Just get out. Fuck. I don't know, man. See, I was watching this. I was watching Alone.
Yeah.
Did you watch the season? I mean, I feel like a lot of the seasons are similar. I was watching a season. Honestly, I haven't even finished it. Um, but I was watching a season where I think they're in somewhere in Canada, and
Is it the
the
first one that we watched that's on
no,
Netflix?
no,
Okay.
no. It's not that one. It's not
Okay.
that one. It's not the one with, like, the fat, like, rocker guy. You know what I'm talking about?
That rocker. You talking about like the guy who's like Hawaiian?
He was like he's like into, like, metal. He's like some fat Hawaiian guy who's into metal, I think.
Is he Hawaiian?
Maybe.
and his whole plan was just to get fat and outstarve everyone. And
I
he came in like third, maybe.
I think
It
so.
was the guy who shot the deer that won.
Yeah, 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 yeah. The
Yeah,
guy who got the deer that
yeah.
one. Totally. This is a different season, but they were somewhere in Canada, like similar region, except like the people who had fishing poles, like or sorry, the people who created, like I don't think you were allowed to bring a fishing pole, but I think like maybe you could bring some line or something like that. And there were people, a few people who, um, like made their own pole, um, with through like using like sticks and like rock and carving like a fucking hook somehow and making like a lure. Those people were by far like to the point that I was watching it. Those were the people who were succeeding, the ones who were able to catch fish every day.
Mm.
Um, and so I feel like if I had line in northern Canada, I don't know, man. I guess I would just fudge. I'd probably die though. I'd probably just fucking die. Maybe I I would probably take the I changed my mind. I would take the one where I'm being hunted by an average hunter.
I'm thinking the same way. The thing that made me realize that that one probably is going to be the easy answer is you have food,
Yeah,
and
I know.
so there's really food is the main thing that's going to pull you out.
And water, right? Like I assume like you
Um,
have enough water too.
I'm gonna say you don't have water, but there is plenty of spots that are good for drinking water. So
See, that complicates things though,
like
because let's say like obviously if I was the hunter in this situation, I would be chilling near like those spots.
hmm
Um and if I'm the survivor, then like I have to go back. I can't just like stay in my secluded spot. I have to continue to go out and make trips to get water. Or maybe I can spend the first week somehow gathering up enough water to last me, but I don't think I have any sort of like storage abilities like that. So my
I'm gonna
thought
say
process.
you have two 1 gallon jugs.
Okay.
So you can you can store up a little bit, but every few days at least you're gonna have to refill.
Yeah. Yeah, I just feel like that'd be sus because if I was the hunter, not like I'm sure there's water sources everywhere. But it sucks a little bit that I have to leave my seclusion to fill up however many, maybe like once or twice, once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, something like that, depending on how much water I
Mm.
can ration. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. It's really tough. This makes the decision really hard between the straight up survival one and this one where we have food, but we got a guy hunting me. Also, it's like, I mean, it wouldn't be out of the question to think that somehow I could also like kill this guy. And I know he's
Yeah.
got a bow. Like what the first thing that comes to my mind is like, let's say I find some cave, and I'm like sick. Like we got this cave. It's gonna block us from the elements. This is where I'm gonna chill. I'm just gonna hide in this cave. Find a big rock in the cave, to use as a weapon if necessary. And like I mean, I don't know. I don't know when he would be coming. That's the thing. But like, if somehow like I can I would somehow if I could be like notified or if I can like realize like, oh shit, like he's coming, like he's coming to the cave. Maybe he's already in. I can like hide in like a certain spot and like as he walks by, just
I
fucking
mean
slam him with the rock.
I mean, yeah, there's no notifications popping up on the screen, but
I know, I know, I know.
you could lay out some crunchy twigs and stuff. Maybe you'll hear them coming. um,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, it's tough, but I'm thinking definitely you take your chances with the hunter.
yeah.
I just think
Probably. I
that
mean, because
odds
like
are we don't have the skills to survive 6 months.
no, we don't. And when you think about it, dude, like there like those people who go on alone, like half of them quit in the first like 2 weeks, and
Yeah,
these people are they consider themselves like experienced survivalists, and they actually also get a starter pack like a fire starter and tarp, and I'm pretty sure they each get like a backpack full of shit that they want to bring. Um,
yeah.
so if they can't do it, then fuck, we definitely can't do it. So I guess I'd take the other one. Just try to. Also, strategy. When you get dropped off, and you have the week like to get out of there to
Mhm.
get as far as you can. Stay in the exact same spot. You just hide. Wait for him to come. He gets
Mhm.
dropped in your spot. He'll never suspect that you didn't leave. And then when he goes off, maybe that gives you a better chance. Like I don't know. But
True.
then also he could be
That
thinking like
that's a risky move.
yeah. That
It's a
was
risky
another thing
move.
that came to my mind. Probably not a good
Yeah.
idea. Probably just want to go as far as you can.
Yo, honestly, I feel like it'd be really hard for him to find you.
I guess yeah. I mean, you give me a week, I can just be straight up nonstop, no sleep for a week straight, moving, just moving. Um, you know, I mean, if there's like, I have to make sure that like I'm kind of like covering my tracks though a little bit. I feel like, um, because I mean, when you think about it, like if he can follow tracks. Like if I'm wearing boots and like I'm on like some muddy or dirt ground, grass, whatever it is. If this guy's got any wits about him, he would look for tracks as soon as he, hit the drop. As soon as he got there.
Yeah. Yeah, there's gotta
Um,
be I don't know what the move is to avoid that.
yeah.
I mean, like, I was gonna
I
say
could build. I could build a. I can build a contraption that I can like attach to the back of my shirt. It's like it's just like a little cylinder with like a bunch of spikes on it, and like it
yeah, I mean,
drags
but it's
behind,
trash,
drags
like,
behind.
it's gonna leave a much more obvious track tearing up the dirt everywhere.
Yeah, I guess.
I
But
was
in
thinking, like,
theory,
go
that
to the
would
water.
cover up my tracks.
Like, you could, like, walk in a creek and move up it, but then if he's good, like, he'll see you enter the creek, and then he'll follow it until he finds where you left.
Yeah, but how does he know which direction then I went?
I mean, you
He'd
know.
probably assume that I went up creek, but I'm going down.
Yeah. I feel like those 6 months, like, he'll go up and then he'll go down. He'll check it out
Yeah.
till he finds you. I mean
Yeah, true. That's true. Yeah.
maybe if the guy isn't that good, maybe he'll starve out.
Yeah, that's the other thing you have to consider is
He's
like
gotta survive
you
too.
you're saying that this guy is like he's a an average hunter, you know.
He's an average good hunter.
An average good hunter. Let's say he's like
Like, he knows what he's
experienced like
doing.
let's say like he lives in like northern Canada. He's very knowledgeable and experienced of the land or sorry, where is it? Appalachian you said or Adirondack?
Adirondacks, yeah.
Um yeah, maybe he's like experienced with the land and he kind of like he knows what he should be looking for and stuff like that. But he stands just as good as a chance as any other guy out there who thinks they're a decent hunter. So
Dude, honestly, like, maybe a good move is just stand, like, go, like, make your path pretty obvious, be waiting right on the trail, get behind a tree, and, like, have the knife out, and as he's coming, just take your chances
yeah,
and try to
because
take him
yeah,
out.
yeah, I guess so. You have a knife, right? Wait, you
Yeah,
do
you have
have a
one
knife.
knife. Yeah, yeah, you have one, like, like a pocket knife. It's, a little 3-inch blade type of thing.
Yeah, that'd be. I'm just picturing like he drops in a week later, he lands like he just like clearly sees like a very detailed and outlined track of like shoes going like right behind a tree, like 10 feet in front of him. He's like, turns the corner and just
Yeah.
gets nailed in the neck, and that's it.
Yeah. That's probably not the best route, honestly. Probably,
Yeah,
there's probably better ways there.
yeah.
If
You probably just want to run or not run, but get as far away from the cornucopia as you can.
Yeah, exactly. Um, alright, on the same topic, how about this? If you could bring if you had to go out into survival, we'll settle on a location. What's, like, I don't know, let's say 10 items you could bring. Um, let's say the location is, let's say, Acadia in Maine,
Okay.
where we're
Like I've
going.
I've never been there. Like I kind of know what's up with it. I know
Yeah,
what it's
it's like, I
about.
don't know. Yeah, it's just like woods, might be pretty cold. Let's say Let's say it's winter time. Winter time.
Okay.
Winter time. Yeah.
What are
All
you're
right.
gonna ask
All
like
right.
what
So
are
you get 10 items you could bring, and I'm gonna say you get. I'm just gonna make up a number. I don't know if this is like reasonable. You get 7 articles of clothing, and then 10 items.
okay.
yeah,
I have to lay them out right now.
yeah, yeah.
All right. Let's say like I wanted to bring like okay. Let's say I okay. Let's say I wanted to bring like $10,000. Can that
Um,
count as one thing, or
I'm
is
gonna
that
say
like
like
however many bills? No.
well, first of all, like I mean, money wouldn't be helpful.
Yeah.
Let's say like there's
I know.
there's no
I was just
contact with
kidding.
the outside world,
Yeah, I was
but
just
I
kidding.
I think we could say that like I don't know. We'll have to I guess figure out each one, but one thing if it would typically have multiple pieces in that, like we'll set what's like a good amount of those to count as one item.
Okay, I
You
got
know
you.
what I mean? Like
Yeah. All right.
okay.
So I was kidding with like the money thing. I think what I would bring is fire starter. Um, yeah, fire starter. Um, I would bring. I think I would bring a fishing pole. I'm sure that there are lakes up there.
Okay.
Fire starter, fishing pole. I would bring a super duper like zero like negative degree sleeping bag, like the one that I have, but like even better.
Okay.
Sleeping bag. Probably bring a a nice spacious. I
10
mean,
things is a lot.
what
10 things is a lot.
10? Yeah, 10 things is a lot. I mean, but at the end of the day, like you know, you still have to kind of like survive.
Yeah, yeah, yep.
I would bring probably a nice spacious tent, I guess. Although I am tempted to say like no and build like my own kind of like log cabin sort of thing, but I probably don't have the wherewithal to do that.
Yeah, a good tent. That's
Yeah, I'll bring a
4, right?
nice tent. Wait, is that four?
That's
So
4, yeah.
fire starter, fishing pole, a sleeping bag, tent. Um, I'd probably bring, I guess,
You should bring a
uh,
UAV.
a UAV to see when
Yeah.
enemies are nearby.
Just to see. I feel like a real life UAV could show you a lot more than enemies. You know,
True.
like animals and shit.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that'd be sick. I mean, and I guess that's something that I could realistically bring. Like, I mean, another thing that I bring a gun. Like, I'm gonna bring like a rifle, probably. With however many. I mean, that's the thing is that like I don't have unlimited ammo.
I would say
Um,
that gun comes with a loaded clip. If you
that's
want to
it.
bring like, let's say like another item would be like, like 3 more clips.
Oh, okay.
If you want like an ammo supply, you get 3 extra
I'll
clips.
I'll count that. Yeah, I'll count that as an item. So gun plus three extra clips, so four total clips. Um, with rifle. That's six. I guess I would bring.
I feel like a knife. You gotta have a knife.
Yeah, yeah. Like okay, I'm gonna bring like a kind of like one of those like a hatchet. I'm gonna bring a hatchet.
Okay.
Um, so that's seven. Uh, I want to say something stupid like you know. I mean, I just realized like I could be thinking of way better things right now. Probably like right now I'm thinking of survival things. I could have said like a car or like a boat. Um,
Yeah.
like low key, a boat would like, dude. If I have a boat and I have a fishing pole, I mean, well, no, maybe not.
Not all you need.
It's not all you
Or
need, but it would
fishing
make
pole,
things like
water.
I would say like I want to say a boat, but I don't know. I'm gonna throw in there like a nice canoe, something to
Okay.
like get me out into the lake if I need to. Something that's also like transportable if I want to move spots. So that's eight. Um, and then I'll say I got the fire starter. I'll bring a pot. Bring a pot. Boil water.
Mm-hmm.
And 10, I'll bring. Um, Also, I just want to say, like, I feel like the items that you bring, the only thing that you probably can't bring should have anything to do with like food or water. Because I
Yeah.
was gonna say like like 10,000 gallons of water, but I mean that would first of all that just wouldn't work. So aside from food and water, I think the 10th thing that I would bring would probably be um maybe like some sort of like trap. Maybe
Okay.
maybe wait,
Yo,
did
what would?
so I have a gun. Wait, did I say bow and arrow?
No, no.
All right.
You got a gun
So okay, better yet, I'm gonna say crossbow.
instead of the gun.
No, 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 no. I'm gonna have a gun and a crossbow.
Okay,
I feel
why?
like the gun at the end of the day should be purely for self defense. Like maybe there's a bear
Hmm,
that's like charging me. Something where like, any sort of like maybe like a mountain lion, somewhere where I feel like my life is in danger and I need to protect myself, the gun will be like the automatic I'm chilling because I have a fucking gun on me. But I'll try to use the crossbow for like all of my real hunting because I waste a bullet every single time I try to hunt something with the gun. Crossbow, there's a chance that I could retrieve the bow. I
That's
mean
true.
the
True.
arrow. So I think the crossbow would be my 10 with like I don't know, however many arrows come with it. Or maybe I need to delete something from the list because I already have 10, but I didn't shave room for any arrows. And maybe like a bundle of
Mm.
arrows like would be 6. Let's say like you get 6 as one item.
Yeah, yeah. I'll say the bow, like the crossbow, comes with three. You get three when you bring it, just for having a crossbow.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
if the gun came with bullets, we'll give the
Yeah, I guess
crossbow
the
a
crossbow
couple
should
of bolts.
automatically too. Yeah. So
Are crossbow bolts like reusable?
I mean, it's the same. I think it's an arrow.
Yeah,
It's just an automatic launcher of an arrow, but you're still using an arrow at the end of the day. So if you can retrieve it, then probably.
I'm thinking though, like on that logic, shouldn't bullets be reusable?
Oh, because like
I mean, it's hard to
there is
find.
such a slim chance you're going to find the bullet, dude. Like you shoot something, there's no way. There's no way you're gonna find that arrow. Like you can kind of see it with your eye
Mm.
as it flies out, and you know.
Yeah, yep.
So okay,
Seeing it's all good.
I think those would be my ten items. Pretty good, not bad. And then for clothes, like
Honestly, like I feel like clothes is just fucking. What's the one
yeah,
thing you could bring?
shit. I mean, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
That's really it. Like, it's really gonna be it. So I feel like I think 10 items is the main question. Um,
yeah. I think that's a solid list right there.
okay.
Um,
Do you want to go?
honestly, no. I feel like you
They're
got
probably
it.
gonna be similar.
Yeah, I feel like you pretty much touched on it there.
Yeah.
Um, let me just like let's wrap up. I'll throw off maybe. I have a little list with a couple of questions.
Okay.
Um,
This is related to what we just talked about, or
nah,
no?
nah.
Completely unrelated.
If you have anything else on the
All right.
survival
Yeah. Go.
topic, we could roll there. But
No, that's it. That was fun. That was good. Got me
um,
pumping a little bit.
let's see. All right, who do you think is worse? All right, I have fucking just scribble this shit out. Who do you think is worse? Is it worse impact on society, billionaires or communists?
I mean, communists, right? I don't know. Like billionaires, I feel like billionaires, like Elon Musk, for example, to our knowledge, they do pretty good stuff. They're helping to like advance
Hmm.
us and to provide us with like useful technology, stuff like that. Whereas I feel like a communist, you know,
Wait, hold on.
they're
I guess it shouldn't be billionaires or communists. Like, um, what do you think is a bigger threat to the people? The idea of people being able to like
could,
accumulate and hoard resources,
yeah, and
or
affect
a
government and shit
government
like
that
that.
wants to take everyone's shit and like theoretically in a perfect world distribute it to the people, but you know the government now controls everything and they can
No, I mean,
potentially.
I'm still going with the billionaires, dude. I mean, that's the society that we currently live in, and like,
Yeah.
things are pretty good. Things are all right, in my opinion. So
Yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't like to. I wouldn't want to know what like America would be like if we were a communist nation. We probably wouldn't be doing this right now.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
true.
for sure.
Yeah. I tend to definitely agree with that. I think the thing that made me think of this was that like Connor lately has been um I guess big
Ugh.
on like that that how do I exactly put it? That the billionaires are a problem, I guess, and like people shouldn't be able to have billions of dollars or hundreds of millions of dollars, and while other people have nothing.
No, no. I think Connor just doesn't like Jewish people.
Yeah, I mean,
Just kidding.
oh, maybe.
Just kidding. Um, I mean, again, like, would you really give up what we have right now for a communist? Like, I don't think Connor would do that. Like, oh, it'd probably be better if we were all communists.
Yeah,
And like, I don't know. There's like that exactly what was described as what's happening right now. But like, we all, me and you still have just like a good shot in
yeah,
this
we're
life
we're
to
still
do
doing all
stuff,
right.
to do what we want to do. Um,
Yeah,
I,
it's
I, I like I do like agree with that. Like, you know, there's probably like a rich elite that controls most things that like no one really knows on like surface, like us sheep, we don't really know about. But like it's one of those things where like we don't necessarily need to know. Like we're not in any, like it's not like they're, I don't know, we still have all of our freedoms. We're in the United States. We're free to do as we please for the most part. So I do like
yeah.
that. And although like in a communist nation it sounds like it would be, things would just be easy, it's also I feel like it would get old pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think communism in a in a perfect world, communism sounds great.
It does.
It sounds ideal. It sounds like capitalism's great because we have inherent struggle, I guess. Like capitalism allows for there's not enough to go around.
Yeah.
So what's the best way to handle that? Whereas communism, I think, would be great if it was like there's enough for everybody. There's plenty of enough for everybody to have not just like enough, but an abundance, and for people to really have everything that they could ever want. And so let's get everyone everything that they want,
Yeah.
which
You
so
know that
far
that
I
that
think
does
has not been
sound all
possible.
right. That sounds decent.
I think it could be that we're heading to a place where
Personally.
that could make sense with stuff like AI and just the way that things are going. Like I like to believe that in the next 100 years or whatever, maybe we'll be at a point where like people don't really need to work. I've talked about this a lot in different ways in different conversations, but that and most people tend to like disagree and be like, I don't really see that we could get there. But I think that's very short sighted.
Maybe not in our lifetime. Like,
Maybe not, but maybe so. Could be. Things
because
are
I
moving
mean, when you
fast.
think about it, dude, like I feel like for the United States specifically,
Mhm.
it would not make sense. Like we are like the land of the free. I feel like both Republicans and Democrats, the left and the right, like each side fights for their own freedoms. And I feel like I also feel like in this country we as people are too polarized to just create a communist society where everyone would be pleased.
Hmm.
I mean, and maybe you can, like maybe it would be possible. Like I can't imagine, like if anything, I feel like liberal people maybe would be more down for like that idea. Republicans, I feel like definitely not. Like your gunslinging, gun owning, um, you know, you know, hoorah Republicans. They're not going to want to give away their uh they're not going to want to give away all their freedoms to communism because I'm sure what.
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess the question is like, what actually has to come with communism? I'm more just thinking
Right.
like
Like
money.
what is like, yeah, like let's like what would be like a layout of like your standard like communist? society. Like for example, like can people own guns?
Yeah,
No.
yeah, yeah,
Really?
yeah. You can have guns.
Okay. Like
In
your
in in
average
my in
civilian can
my
have a
view,
gun.
like maybe what I'm talking about isn't really communism, but in my view of this, like, you know, golden era world that I'm thinking of, yeah, yeah,
I
you can
feel like
have
I know
guns.
what you're thinking of. Like you have like I don't know. Yeah, let's say like you can, I'm what I'm picturing right now is like every let's say like you're in the United States, every single person owns like an acre, like they have an acre of land dedicated to them. They're given like a ration of food and water every single week, just the same amount as every single other person. Maybe like I don't know like what the job responsibility situation would be there. Everyone would probably have like their daily jobs.
Well, most people wouldn't have a job, or like they wouldn't have. I guess like the idea of what I'm thinking here is that our financial institutions are built on like the need for human labor in order for the world to run. We need people to show up to work if we're going to manufacture things, if we're going to create food, if we're going to have roads and all these different things. Like we need people to show up and do them.
Right,
And
right,
so we
right.
need a way to motivate people to work. And that is by giving them money so that they can have food and all these other things. And if they work
Yeah, yeah.
more, they can have a better standard of life. And the job that they do directly impacts the life that they can live.
Yeah, that's
But
capitalism,
what
right?
if we had robots and clean forms of energy and stuff like that that all these tasks that were run off of human labor can now be run without the need for human labor, and they can be done for free or extremely cheaply because of the cost of energy.
Yeah, I
And now
see.
suddenly humans don't need to be working in order to survive. Our survival and even our progress maybe is fueled by mostly technology. And let's say, like there does need to be some people behind these things. You need scientists and you need people programming these robots and you need people ultimately, like, I guess, kind of calling the shots at one point or another. Um,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like you gotta, yeah. They're like someone's gonna be working. There are going to be people who are working. Maybe those people they get like an extra something or other. They get a little gift at the end of the month.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like there definitely could be a world where they get something, but I'm also thinking like in this world, you pretty much can already have everything you want because there's no downside to making things, you know?
Okay, ready? Example of something that would probably still be necessary. That would be tough given the situation.
Hmm.
Let's say like you need like like there still needs to be some form of like law, police force. Who's gonna be the police? Are the robots gonna be the police? Are we going? Because
Um,
are we going that
hmm.
crazy here?
I suppose the robots could be police. I do think that police would be a job because I don't think that people are going to just say, screw it, I'm just gonna sit at home and watch TV all day because I don't have anything to do. I don't need to do anything. Everything's taken care of. So I'm just gonna be a loser. I think
I think a
after
lot of
some
people would
time,
be like that.
I think a lot of people would, but I don't know. I think somewhere in the range of, let's say, half
Yeah,
of people
totally.
are going to want to like do something. They're going to want to be
Yeah,
productive. They're going to want to contribute. Um,
yeah.
I think realistically, if this happens, like you're going to have like there's got to be some sort of new North Star for humanity. I think right now, like the North Star for humanity is improve as a species, improve our living conditions, understand our world and each other better. Um, I mean, really, like it really kind of boils down to improve our living conditions for everyone on the planet. Once
Yeah.
once people start to achieve like perfect living conditions, then we can start helping people who have less than that, and eventually, I think we'll be at a point where everyone has pretty much all the ideal living conditions they could ever want. I feel like that's where we're going to head. I mean, or we're going to
Uh,
die.
so my argument against like us heading there is that I think given what we spoke about earlier about how there's like a rich elite and there are billionaires out there, I think that there are certain people and certain families who will always want to like retain their wealth over you know, over the common, over like the common spread of wealth amongst everyone. I think that there are a lot of greedy people out there, and I think that they would not want this. Like they would not want everyone to be on the same level. And like it give like in a communist nation, like
Mm.
everyone like there is no such thing as like a billionaire. There's no such thing as like someone who's making a ton more money than everyone else, someone who's doing better. I think that I understand why people would say that, they don't know if it's possible in the near future, or at least not in a long time, just because I feel like the world, not even our country, but the world is run by the rich elite, and I don't think they're planning on giving up anytime soon. And they
That's
control
true.
the government, like they control everything. The rich
Yeah.
people control; they have power over everything, unless there is some alien force over us. um,
It's definitely true. I will say like I'm thinking in the scale of, could be 10 years, could be 10,000, could be 10 million, like could we get to this point? And I think something that's, I don't know, something else to consider here is that theoretically and hopefully, if we could get to a point where you can have not just everything you need but everything you want for free, because it is free to make, and it takes no time or money from humans to make anything. And if that is the case, then you can have anything you want in theory, as I guess, like natural resources permitting.
yeah,
um
I guess that makes sense to a degree. I feel
to
like
a
in order for this to the ultimate scenario here would be like the entire world is like under one communist party, and the entire world, everyone abides by the same rules and regulations under this communist party.
I wouldn't be surprised if we get to that point eventually. I mean,
You
especially,
want to know where it would end up? You want to know at what point it would end
I,
up going
I,
for
I know what you're
this?
gonna say because I was about to say this. Go ahead.
Aliens.
And yeah, specifically just like the realization that there are other civilizations
More
outside of
powerful.
humanity.
Yeah.
Um,
Ones that control us as well. Like, as
potentially,
I'm sure the aliens do and have.
potentially, but even if it's just like, okay, we know that there are lots of other planets that have people on them, and we now have ways of somehow interacting with those people. Suddenly, I mean, we're one planet, we're one species, and who
Yeah, we
cares
gotta
if there are
unite.
different countries on our planet?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
That'd be
be a
sick.
cool place
Imagine
to
if
get.
like aliens were coming in, like we were getting like some like threatening information from some aliens saying like we're gonna come and fuck you up, and we had to put together like a mass army. We had to put together like a conglomerate army of like all the top nations, like United States, Russia, China, whatever, the like, Israel, whatever, like the big powerhouses are.
Whatever the Israel is,
I mean, yeah, I don't know why I said Israel.
and
uh,
Palestine. We get
yeah, we throw Palestine in the
get
mix.
Palestine's military in
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That'd be pretty cool. Like
So
if we all had to come together, if everyone was forced to come together, like Zelensky and Putin, they have to shake hands and be like, all right, we got to like look past this because we got like people like coming in, we got aliens coming in, so that'd be pretty cool, dude. Imagine
so
that, like
that is actually exactly what Stephen Greer warns about.
what?
Like he like one of his central points, like the biggest thing that he wants to like get through people's heads, is that it is likely that at some point or another that exact scenario that you're talking about will be staged, and it will be staged for us to think that we are that there is a hostile alien threat, and basically that, now we are going to give up a lot of liberties and completely come under this like militaristic controlled society, like, and
Because of the
everyone's gonna,
threat of aliens that isn't even
exactly,
there, you're
and
saying? But
basically,
I feel like Greer obviously is a big proponent of there actually being aliens.
yes.
So, you know, why is he like, why would he say, I mean, I understand, like, it does make sense. It makes sense why they would like do this, like faking it. But I
Yep.
feel like he would also be like, this is something that could actually happen. Like,
Well,
not,
Greer's thing is that all of the actual extraterrestrials are completely benevolent. They're not here to attack us. They're not here to enslave us or do anything bad to us. So the idea of them attacking is very
Doesn't make sense.
impossible
Okay,
in
yeah, yeah,
today's
yeah.
time.
That's very Greer-like. Yeah, I get that.
And so it would be like, the agenda of, like, the people in control here on Earth that have these like reverse engineered alien technologies and all stuff like that, that they would want to. And I guess you could come to the conclusion that there's like some like there that the extraterrestrials and these people who control all this stuff on Earth are at somewhat at odds with one another. If the aliens are good and these people are bad, and they're like downing alien craft to like reverse engineer it and use for
Right.
their own purposes that are not good, and the aliens are good, like that these people are not friends with the aliens.
Right. They're probably not.
Um,
Yeah.
I forget why I made that point exactly.
Well, I brought up kind of like, well, you said that Greer believes that the aliens are
Oh,
benevolent and
right,
like
right, right. So like these people would want us to think. I mean,
that
just
they're
look at
bad.
everything that
Yeah.
goes on in the world today. Like there's so much in the news and everything like that wants you to think that this group that they're the bad guys. When
Right. Right. Right.
maybe they are, maybe they aren't. More likely it's just a lot more complicated than that. And there aren't
Yeah.
really any heroes and villains, but they want you to think that there are heroes and villains. And so it's kind of the same idea that they want to create this villain, and like COVID would be a good example of them kind of testing this sort of thing out to see, like,
Yeah.
in the face
Has
of a
Greer said
crisis,
that?
how much are people willing. No, I don't know if he said that. I'm not sure. He might have.
It's a good point though. If it is true that like COVID was kind of just like lab created as a test on humanity,
I
it's
would
a good
not be
test.
surprised if
It's a good
that was
test.
the point of COVID.
The China flu.
Like that is why it came out, to see, as like a social experiment, really, to see how do the people respond when they think they're faced with this, existential threat, really. How do they respond when we come in and try to take away their freedoms to save them?
Yeah. Right. While also injecting everyone with the same thing
And yeah, I mean, that's like a perfect
blindly.
example of trying to see, like, will they let us just
Put
inject
something in their
literally
body.
something into them that we have no idea
Right.
what it is?
Wait, did you didn't get the vaccine, did
Nah,
you?
nope.
Wow, you're chilling,
Yep, I'm
dude.
good.
You're
I'm good.
chilling. I had to get
I'm
it,
good. It'll be
unfortunately.
interesting to see like like I wouldn't be surprised if we see lower fertility rates and I don't know, some sort of negative benefit that has drastically changed, in the population 20 years after the vaccine was released. We
Yeah.
won't see that for a while, but
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if there was something that came up that was correlated
yeah,
between getting the or getting the coronavirus shot and whatever. But I do believe that. I wish I didn't have to get it. I mean, I really didn't have to, but
it was for school,
for
right?
school, also
They
for
wanted you to
work,
get it.
like when I started my new job, like if you wanted to come to the office, you needed to be
Mm,
vaccinated, and like they were like, just fucking get vaccinated because we need people in the office. But yeah, it was for school before anything. Like if you even wanted to step foot on campus, you needed to be vaccinated, and you know you had to
that's
get a
crazy.
vaccine. And they were offering vaccines, and so that's how I only got one and a booster. I think that's it. Like many like years ago.
Yeah,
Years ago now. It's crazy to think that that was years ago.
yeah,
4 years ago almost.
yeah. I actually was scheduled to get it. I had an appointment, and something happened with my mom that I had to take her to the emergency room that day, and I missed the appointment, and I never made another one. I was only gonna get it because my fucking ex girlfriend wanted to, like she had like whatever stuff in the city, maybe a museum, or there was several times where she was like, I want to do this thing,
And you
and
were like,
then
I
I was
can't
like,
because I'm not
well, I
vaxxed.
can't because I'm not vaccinated. And it was like, you have to be vaccinated to do this thing.
Yeah, there
So
was a
like
lot
it
of
was
that.
like
That was
maybe
that. I was gonna say that. Like, how did you like during that time? How did you manage to, you know? I mean, I don't know.
you know
What was hindering you, if anything, from not having your vaccine? Obviously, stuff like that. Like if you even wanted to basically step foot in New York City and you want to go to any sort of
Yeah.
any bar, any place in New York City, or really anywhere, like you need to be vax. You got to pull the vax card out.
Yeah, I didn't do anything in New York City. It was really only like there was nothing in my actual day-to-day life that was interrupted. It was just there was probably at least 3 times that she was like, "Hey, I wanna do this." And I looked into it and it was like, this event is happening like in the next week and I'm not vaccinated and like, there's no world that I could get the 2 shots that you need or whatever, something like that.
Yeah,
So it wasn't like affecting my life, but there was just multiple times that like I, had to shut down a plan because I wasn't vaccinated. So I was like, all right,
right.
whatever. And like at the time, I wasn't really like, like anti-vax about it that I wasn't going to get vaccinated because I think it's bad. I just didn't have to. I was like,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm in no rush to do this.
yeah. It was a good
So
choice. I think at the end of the day, I mean, I feel like everyone now knows that the vaccine was basically a scam. I mean, I believe that. I believe the vaccine. I don't think. I think any healthy person who got vid probably was chilling. I think anyone, I think it was the same thing as like getting the flu or something like that. The flu can kill you. Like the flu can kill
yeah, yeah,
elderly. It can kill sick people. So
yeah. I
can
mean,
the
I
vid.
was riddled with COVID multiple multiple times.
Yeah.
Um,
Like I've had it at least a few times, and yeah, it
yeah,
definitely does suck. It feels like you got the flu. Whatever. I don't know.
yeah. All right. Good to
What
wrap
was
it up
even the
here.
what was the original question
The
that you
original
asked me there?
question was, what's worse,
Oh yeah,
billionaires or
communism.
communists?
Yeah, and I love how we that leads to COVID.
Yeah, yeah,
It's pretty crazy.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Probably both of those people are largely behind COVID, but
Yeah. One or the other.
all right, I'm
Yeah,
gonna hit
you can end it.
stop. Um,